Hi there, I'm Al Teresi, president of Teresi and Associates and founder of How to Be a Black Belt at Sales and Strategic Networking. Again, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here today. And today's going to be a game changer for you. You're going to rock. And, if you're aware of this or not, in 2018, 57% of sales teams did not hit their sales quotas. In 2019, the trend continued, and I believe it's the same in 2020. That being the case, I'm going to say straight out, there's no reason why you shouldn't hit or exceed your sales quota, and I'm going to prove it to you today. Now, at the end of this, I'm going to be making you an offer, so stay to the very end, and let's rock. Now, I'd like you to get something to write with. And I want you to define your sales territory. Give it a label of some sort. Is it a state? What's the name of the state? Is it tri-state? What are the names of the states? Is it the country? Just put USA. If it's the world, just put the world. But you have to give your territory a label at this point in the exercise. Now, I'm going to take you to the next step and take notes. This is important stuff. Now, this is somewhat subjective, but what I'd like you to do is to write down how many competitors you believe that you have in your territory that you've defined that do exactly what you do. It might be 5, it might be 10, it might be 82. It really doesn't matter because, like I said, this is subjective. And even though it's subjective, the point will be driven home, right? So you've defined the territory. How many competitors do you have in your territory that do exactly what you do? And write that number down. And now we're going to go to step 3. Okay, as best you can, I'd like you to determine what you believe the gross sales were in your territory with these competitors. How many dollars in sales do you think these competitors did over a 12-month period? And write that down. And now we'll move to the next part of the exercise. Okay, here we go. Now, what were your sales for the same period of time? We already know the territory, we know the number of competitors, we know what the competitors' gross sales were for a 12-month period. Now the question is, what were your sales for that same period of time? And write that number down. Now, here comes the magic question. You ready? Is there a gap? Is there a gap that exists between the sales of your competitors collectively for a 12-month period? What were your sales for that same period of time? And is there a gap? There's always a gap. There's no way to get around it. There's always a gap. Now we're going to move to the next piece. What was your sales quota for that same period of time? And how much did you miss it by? And again, just to move again through this slowly, your territory, the number of competitors you have, what their collective gross sales were for a 12-month period. Excuse me. What were your sales for that same period of time? What was the gap between this and that? Now we go to your sales quota, and we're going to say if you missed your sales quota by $100,000, if you missed your sales quota by $500,000, was there enough of a gap left so that if you knew how, that gap would have satisfied the amount of dollars you missed your quota by? And I would venture to say there is. Now, let's go to the next section. I call it the real question, the big question. Can you hit your sales quota? While it looks like a good question, it's not the best question that you could be asking yourself. Here's the best question. The best question is, how do I hit my sales quota? Given that there's so much opportunity out there, so much business, it's not a question of can you hit your sales quota, it's how do you hit your sales quota? Now, here's what I'd like you to do. If this has resonated with you in any way, fill out the form, put in your first and last name and your email address, and I'm going to take you through a series of courses that's going to help you build a foundation for hitting your sales quota, exceeding your sales quota, increasing your sales. Now, there's no credit card involved. This is a complimentary free course. I encourage you that you fill out the form and start rocking. In the meantime, make it a great day.